The way to resolve the housing issues in slums and to facilitate slum upgrading is to stop relying on public funding. As we all know, upgrading of slums has been mainly driven by the public sector with donor support. But with time, funding from this sector has been going down, donor support has been dwindling with time, and most projects of slum upgrading have either stalled or they have produced very minimal output. Therefore, it is time that authorities in our cities think of alternative, innovative models or approaches in which to provide affordable housing and facilitate slum upgrading. One characteristic of the land and housing markets in our cities, particularly in the city of Nairobi, is that it is vibrant, it is strong, it is very sound. Therefore, this may hold the key to the persistent slum problem. Countries in other parts of the world have turned to the market to harness its strength in order to provide affordable housing. It is time that our city authorities and our governments do the same. By turning to the strong land and housing markets that we enjoy, it is possible to alleviate the slum problem. Take, for example, Kibera slum. Kibera is situated very close to the city center. It is in a prime locality. It is in a place where land is very valuable. But the challenge that we have is that the land is public. It is not private land. We cannot capture land value when land is categorized as public. Therefore, the solution lies in coming out with a public policy that will enable the government to convert that land from public to private and put it in the hands of investors who will be able to invest in it, develop enough houses, both for the slum dwellers and for other segments of the population. The way we are proposing it is through the inclusionary housing policy. Inclusionary housing will allow the government to capture the value that will arise out of converting the Kibera land from public to private, out of the planning that will be done on it, out of the infrastructure that will be done on it. That increase in value that will arise out of all those processes will need to be captured for the purpose of public use. And the way that can be done is by requiring the developers who will be allocated this land to set aside a portion of the housing units they develop for the use by the slum dwellers. And then the remainder of the units will be offered in the market. That is how the concept of inclusionary housing works. We will use residual land value analysis to determine the number of units that will be required of the developers to set aside for the slum dwellers, and also to determine how many units will be developed for the market. The importance of doing this analysis is to make sure that the developments that we propose to be done by the developers will be visible, so that the developers are encouraged that when they come to invest in the slum land, which will now be converted into private land, that they are guaranteed that their investments will be visible. That is the way to go. That is the model that we are proposing for Kibera. Now, When we do this, we are going to achieve several things. One, we are going to upgrade Kibera slum. The whole of Kibera will be upgraded very fast using this model, and we will have achieved what the government has been dreaming for a long time. Number two, we are going to provide enough affordable housing for the people residing in Kibera. Everybody will be accommodated using this model. Number three, we are going to achieve a social integration, social inclusion, because we are going to provide units both for the slum dwellers at affordable rent, and also we are going to provide units at market rent, at market price for the people of other income groups who will now come and stay also in Kibera, turning Kibera to a mixed income neighborhood. That will be achievable using the model that we are proposing, and that will be a wonderful thing to see happening in Kibera.